Hello teachers, we all know that learning management systems are great tools to send and receive work from our students. But what happens if our students are 8 to 11 years old and they don't have email accounts? What can we do to send and receive work for them? Here is a great tool for us to create a virtual classroom for our students. ClassDojo is a great tool and it's a very simple platform for students and for parents. Once we log in to ClassDojo.com, we are going to join in or sign up. We are going to sign in as a teacher. And we are going to create our account. Once we input all the information about us, we are going to accept all the policies and the terms of the company, and we are going to join in. The website is going to provide us with a lot of different places in our country according to our location. So we are going to find the center or the school that applies to us. In case your school or center is not in the directory they have, you can add your school and you can create the information for it. Once the information about your school or center is in, add it, and then you have the information, and we're going to join to that center or school. Here we are inside our dashboard. Now we are going to create our first class. But before we create our first class, we are going to check the verification email that they sent to our email. Great. Here we are. Here we have the verification email. Now we are going to verify our account, and now we are ready to create our first classroom. Now that we are in here, we are going to create a class. This is the name of our class. You can edit it if you want to. You can select the grade that you teach, from kindergarten to 12th grade. Okay, let's say that we teach 8 years old students. And we are going to decide the kind of points or the kind of rewards that the parents of the students are going to see when we award our students. They say here that we have the chance to share only the positive points, or we can share all kinds of points, the positive and the negative, or we don't share any points at all. Let's say that we are going to share all points so the parents know when our students are misbehaving. Now we are creating our first class. Now let's write the name of our students. We could copy them one by one, or we can copy and paste from our class roster. Okay, let's click here, and when we are going to copy and paste the students list, we are given two options, one to import from Word and the other one to import from Excel. In my case, I have my example in Google Sheets that is like Excel, so we are going to select the student's name and we are going to copy and paste it here. Here we are. We are going to add the list, and when we import the list, we are going to be given the option to organize the list of the students in the order by name or by last name. So in this button here that says flip first and last names, we can flip it, and the order of the list is going to depend according to the last name. So now we are going to continue with this process. Here we have our students, and then we are going to save our list of students. The next step after adding the students would be inviting the parents. It's up to us as teachers to decide if we are going to invite the parents or not. But in case you want the parents to be inside the classroom, not seeing their work and their performance, but seeing the notifications that you send, seeing when you create a schedule for exams, or receiving important information or messages inside the school term, we can ask the parents to join our class. So we are going to download the invites, okay? We are going to see the PDF that was created. Here are some simple instructions, and then we are going to see that each parents of each student, they have their own code to join the class. There is another way that the parents can join the class, is inviting them one by one using their email. Let's see, for example, if we are going to invite one of these students' parents. Now we are going to write here the email. Okay, the invitation was sent to the parent. Now we are going to see how the invitation looks like in the parent's account. Now we can see that he has a link to join the class. If we click here, we can see that the parent has access to the class, and he can join the class by saying that he is the parent of this student. And now we have to put here the personal information. Charlie Brown. Now the parent has all the information in to create an account for him as a parent. Now he's going to register. Now that the parent is in, he can send messages to the teacher. Hello, thanks for making me part of the class. Okay, and send. The parents can communicate through this way and can also see the class story. Yes, when the teacher posts something for all the parents, creates a scheduled assignment, the parents can see it. And we're going to see the way the parents are going to receive that information. Now that the parent is in, let's go to the teacher's view. Let's close first some windows here. Okay, this is the teacher's view, and here we can see that we have one new message from a parent. Okay, here we see that we have Charlie's parents message, and we can answer if we want to. Now let's go to the classroom. Here in this tab we have some interesting things. Here at the bottom we have some tools that are going to help us to do classroom management in case we want to use this app, this wonderful app, inside the classroom. For example, here we have a toolkit, and if we click here we have a classical timer. Okay, we can set for the students to finish their work in 15 seconds, 30 seconds, or we can add more. Okay, here we have a random name picker. Okay, you can see that they randomly move, but if we don't want that student because maybe the student is absent, we can pick again, and it's going to switch again until we pick that student, and we ask questions to that student, or we assign a certain task, or we decide that that person is going to be a happy helper. So it's up to us the way that we are going to use this tool. Going back in here to the toolkit, we can make groups with this wonderful tool. We can make group of 2, of 3, depends on the amount of students that we have in the class. Let's try this one so we can see that they prepare and they put the students together, so the students don't have the excuse that the teacher selected the teams according to the teacher's decision. If we go back here to the toolkit, we have a noise meter, so it can measure. If we give the access to our microphone, you can see the way it measures, and we can slide down the sensitivity. So if we speak louder or if we whisper, it's going to measure, and it's really fun because the students try to be really quiet. Now let's continue here with the toolkit. If we give directions to students, so we can create directions for the students. We can add the items and see how it works. Let's imagine that these are the activities that we're going to do, a pop quiz. So we are going to give the students some instructions. Yes, we can add as many items, as many steps as we want to, and then we are going to do it now. Here we have the option to do it later, so we can prepare in advance certain instructions for different activities. If we are making activities or find someone who inside the classroom, we can prepare in advance the questions, the steps of the directions, and we can project it on the board. Now let's do it here, and we are going to see that these are the instructions, the directions that are going to be on the board for the students to watch it, to see it, and they know what they have to do during this activity. Let's try another tool here, Think Pair Share. This kind of activities is for circle time activities, or maybe to discuss awkward moments or awkward situations in life. Also to know the perception of our students about values or current events. So it's a great tool. If we project one of these activities, the question is going to be displayed on the board, and the students have the time to discuss about it. That way the teacher can be free around the class to see what they are talking about. Another tool here in the toolkit is today. So we can create, for example, special events for the day. For example, if we create here a morning event, for example, today we are going to celebrate Ariel's birthday. Okay, so we can save it, and maybe during recess I can post it and they can see it. So we can say Monday, March 23rd. Okay, we are going to celebrate the birthday of Ariel. So the students know that there is a special activity for today. Now here, this is a wonderful tool when we play the music. Let's take a look at it. If we click here, we are going to have two options. If we want the students to be focused, or if we want them to be more active, to do random activities around the class, go here and there. Maybe I want them to move fast. So let's focus. We are going to play here. Let's play the focus playlist so we can see what kind of music we can play according to our mood and the students' mood. We can change. Now, let's play the playlist for active moments. This kind of moment where we make competitions in the classroom, where we make warm-up activities or introduction activities in the classroom before we start the topic. This one is going to be a little bit more active. Another one. One more. Okay, that was the toolkit. Now let's see the rest of the tabs down here. Okay, here we have the option to take attendance. So let's click here and see that by default all students are present. If we click on them, we will see that the color, the status of the students is going to change. Red means absent, yellow means tardy, and half yellow, half green, that means that the students left early. We can save the attendance, and finally at the end we can have a report of the attendance. Another option here in the bottom bar, we can select more than one student to do activities. We can select all of them to give them feedback about the behavior. Let's imagine that we want to praise them for working hard in class. So if we click here, okay, we are going to add a post. So the parents are going to receive the notification that the student earned 1 point. Okay, after assigning each student 1 point for hard working, we're going to see how the parents receive the notification in their class story. Let's see Charlie's. We can see that clicking on Charlie, the parent is going to be able to see the student's report. Click on here and ta-da! The parent gets the report of the student receiving a hard working point. That means that the parent can be aware of the work that the students are doing in class the moment they are rewarded for the activities they do. Now back to the teacher's view. We can see here in the bottom menu that we have some shortcuts that are going to help us do some of the activities that we have available inside the toolkit. For example, random name picker. Yes. And we can reward them if they answer correctly some questions, okay? We can have a timer here, a stopwatch, together with a countdown, so we can create activities, and we click on the shortcut. Another interesting option here at the bottom is this big ideas. If we click here, we are going to be redirected to another page inside the same platform to watch videos about values. So we can play these videos to students, we can project them on the board, and then we can go back to the class and use the toolkit to create and open discussions between students. So we can make an activity with them based on the video we watched. Here in the dashboard, we have all the lists of students, but also we can make groups. I know that here in the toolkit we have a group maker, but sometimes leaving that to fate is not going to be very helpful in case we have students that doesn't work properly with other students. So we can prepare our groups in advance, okay, and we can add groups. For example, group number 1, we are going to click these students and this one, okay, and we are going to prepare a group. So we know that way that those students work very well together, and that way we in advance know that they are going to take advantage of the people in their team. Now that we finish explaining the bottom menu, let's go here to the top right part and click the options that we have available. Okay, the first option is to edit our class. And editing our class is really important because first we can decide the icon that we're going to use for our class. Second, we can rename it. And third, we can change the grade that our students are in. Second information that we can edit in our class is adding students. Yes, and with this, we can decide the way our students are going to log in to our class. In the case that our students are given the option to use gadgets inside the classroom, we can use this kind of login. They can join the class using a QR code, entering a text code, or using a Google username. So if we use the first one, that is scanning the QR code, we activate it and we confirm it here. So we can display the QR code. And we are going to connect our students to their portfolios once they log in into the class. So I agree. And this is the QR code for the class. So all the students using one QR code log in. There are some drawbacks using this unique code. And is that if a student log in using this QR code, they are going to be displayed with the entire list of students, and they can click on any of the students, even if they are not. But we as teachers know if the students are doing right or wrong inside the classroom. Signing in with the QR code is very simple for the students because they don't need to type anything. But in case we want to change the sign-in method, we can also display the class code. It's going to be a 6-letter code. So we are going to click on it, we are going to confirm it, and we are going to display the class text code. And this is the way they are going to sign in case they are in the class. If we are going to use another way of teaching our students outside the class, I do not recommend our students to use this code to log in. The reason why I wouldn't recommend teachers to use this kind of sign-in method in case you are teaching students outside your class is because when they type in the class code, they have access to all the lists of students and they can enter other students' accounts and see the work. So in order to avoid cheating and also avoid students doing other students' work, it's better to distribute individual codes, and we're going to see in a minute how they can do that. If you realize down here, we have an option to give students individual codes, QR codes, for them to log in at home. But in case you don't want to get until this part, we can do it from the main page. Here, next to the displaying the class text code, we have the option to send the students individual codes. So if we click here, we have two options. We can print out all the codes for all the students, and a PDF with all the codes for all the students are going to be created. Okay, and if we're going to send this, we have to be very careful that the parents don't get the codes from other students. Another way, going back here, is copying this unique link and sending it to parents. Remember, you have the option to send emails or send messages to parents. So we copy the link, we close here, and we send a message to the parents. Let's go here and click Charlie Brown's parents, and we can send the link. If we go to the parents view, we will see that the parent here has got a new message. That way, the parent has got the link And this link is going to provide the parents with the code. So let's copy it. And open a new window and paste it. And we will see that this is the QR code for the student. But if we scroll down, we will see that if you have no way, or the parent has no way to read the QR code, there is another unique link for another way of logging in. So the parent can come here, copy this code, and find another way to log in. So the parent has no excuse that they don't know how to scan QR codes. They only need to copy and paste. And ta-da! Charlie Brown is in. So now in our screen we have 3 views. Let me close these windows so we don't get confused. So here we have the teacher's view, here we have the parent's view, and here we have the student's view. This is the way all 3 people are connected to the same class. In case the parents want the students to be logged in using a device like a cell phone or a tablet, the parents can use this link to connect their devices. So let's do this process with a cell phone. That way the student can log in using the QR code. So here we are with the app in the cell phone, and we are going to log in as a student. Now we are going to log in, and we are going to log in as Charlie Brown in the cell phone. That way the student has the same access that in the website. The student can see the reports, the activity. The students can see what's up to do today, and can have the same access as in the website. Now that the student is logged in the cell phone and also in the website, let's start assigning activities to the students. Let's go to the teacher's view. Going back to where we were in the class options and continue editing the class, we saw the way the students can log in. So all 3 parts are connected: parents, teachers, and students. Here we already invited 1 parent. Now let's see here the skills that we can reward or that we can punish in our students in case they don't work properly. Let's create some skills here to see the way they can be created. Up here we have different icons to represent the different skills that we want to praise from our students. Yes? For example, if we want to say that our students improved in their handwriting, we can select a smiley face, and we can put the name here, improved handwriting, and here we can decide the weight, 1 point, 2 points until 5. Let's say it's going to worth 1 point, and we save it, and here we have 1 new skill to reward our students. Down here we get the choice to decide if the parents are going to see all kind of points, the good ones, the positive ones, and the ones that the students need to work on, or only the positive or not points at all. By default, it has that only positive points are going to be shared with parents. Now let's create skills where they need to work. In case you are teaching your students from home in distance, remote learning, we can create skills for them to feel motivated. For example, if we need the students to hand the students on time, we can put here that the student handed the work late, and we're going to subtract 1 point from the ones that they earned when they did positive things. That way you can see that the value is in red and a minus before the number. It's up to us as teachers to decide if the parents can see all the points, the positive ones and the ones that need to work. I suggest that the parents know all the points, that way they know why the students has earned and lost points. But it's up to every teacher. Another thing is that if you have more than one classes, you don't have to create all these settings for every class. You can import it in case you have different classes. That is a good thing because that is going to save us a lot of time. And the last step in our window to edit the class is teachers. In case you are a tutor teacher in a school, you can invite subject teachers, or you can invite your coordinator to be part of your class so they can do activities with your students in the same class. Or that way also the coordinators are aware of the activities they are receiving in case they want to, they need to talk to parents to see, to talk about the progress of the students. So you can invite co-teachers to be part of your class. Now that the settings of the class are done, let's go back to the dashboard, and here on the options, we can also view reports about our students' performance. Today, all the class have positive attitudes. We can also have a report on the attendance. Okay, and here we can get the reports on their behavior. Let's close it and see another option. We can connect students the way we saw, giving them the option to log in the class or at home. Going back here, we can add co-teachers. That is another way to do the same as I explained previously. And here, we can reset the bubbles. Let's say, for example, that we reward our students today, but tomorrow we want to start over. That doesn't mean that the rewards that you gave them today is going to disappear from their report, but they know that every day they have a fresh start. In case they were subtracted some points yesterday for misbehavior or for handing in late or something like that, they know that today they have a new opportunity and they can receive new points. Here what it says, resetting the bubbles. In case we select all the students and we reset, and they are from 0 every day or every time that you reset the points. The last part of our options here is display settings. A way to decide, in case we have a lot of students, that way we can decide if we are going to have all the avatars on one page, or in case we want them to be bigger, yes, we can increase the size of the avatar. Let's leave it in the middle the way it was. Also, we can decide if the students can be sorted by their first name or the last name. Can you see here behind the way they are changed? If we sort them by the first name, here we have this order. And if we sort them by the last name, this is the way it's going to change. We also can decide if the last name is shown, yes, the full name, or if we hide their names. Also, we can decide if we can show the notifications when we award positive and needs to work points. Also, we decide if if the program can play the sound for positive and need to work points. And now we are going to see how it works. We are going to assign some points so the students and the parents can see the way they receive it in their view or page. Also, we can decide if the points are combined together here in this bubble, or if we separate them, or we don't show any point at all. By default, it comes that all the points are combined in total, or we can separate them. If we decide that the green, the positive points are separated from the needs to work one. Let's save the settings, and this is the way it looks. Now let's reward a student to see how the parents and the students see those rewards in their view. Let's click on the student, and let's say I'm going to reward him for helping others, and this is the way it sounds and appears on the screen. Yes? In case the teacher made a mistake and is not the correct student, you can undo. And the point is subtracted. But let's give the student the point. That way we can go here. We can see how the parents can see how the student is rewarded. Okay, we are going to click here and see that for today the student has got an extra point. Now let's go to the student's view, and they have also the report for this class. Let's go back to the teacher's view. Now, going back to the teacher's view, we can start creating activities for our students. Okay, we go here to portfolios, and we have activities to create for them. Here we can see this sign, this symbol, plus symbol, and if we click here, we can create activities to assign to them, and we can write the title of the activity. We can write here the instructions, but we also decide the way that a student is going to submit the activity. Let's try out some of them and see the way the students can submit their work. The first activity that we are going to see is allowing students to submit the work entering test. So let's write here. Let's imagine that the name of the activity is called letter A, and the instructions are, for example, write 3 words with letter A. And then we submit the activity, and now we are going to see how the students received their work. We have our first activity here in our portfolio, and next to the title we have the chance to edit the activity. We can archive it so we don't see it anymore, or we can delete it. But in this case we are going to leave it there until the students answer the activity, and that way we can approve the work or see if we haven't approved it yet. And we can see here that three students that we have in the class, they haven't submitted the activity yet. So let's see the way students hand in their activity. Let's go to the student's view. Here, the student received their activity. If we refresh the page, we are going to see that here in the portfolio, the student has something to do, some activity to do. So the students can read the work, the title, and the instructions, and the students can start doing the activity. Because the teacher decided that the way of submitting the work is text entry, that's the way the student is going to answer. So let's say that the student answers ant, apple, and ape. 3 simple words, and the student hand in the activity. That is a very simple way for the students to hand in the work. Until now, here in the portfolio, the student has his first assignment handed in. Let's go to the teacher's view. That way we can see that the students handed in the work. And now we have 2 options to approve the work. If it is a simple work like taking a picture or doing something very simple that doesn't need individual approval, you can approve them all at once in case all the students hand in their work. Or you can go one by one and correct the work. Here you can approve the work, or you can return it as a draft so the students can redo it in case it's wrong. Let's approve the work, and we can like and add a comment. Great job. Now let's enter, and the comment is on. In case we made a mistake, we can delete the comment. Now this is the way that we have the first assignment that we gave to our students handed in. We can see here that 1 is approved, 0 is pending for approval, and the other 2 have not submitted yet because the other 2 students didn't turn in their work. Let's create another activity where we want our students to hand in their work in the form of a video. Let's imagine that we want our students to watch a video and then record themselves mentioning the things that are in the video. First of all, we need to create a place where the video that they are going to watch is. In case you want to get a video from YouTube, it's very easy. You can, for example, log in YouTube, okay, and then you click on the sun, and then you copy the link. You copy the link and then you paste it in the instructions of the activity. But if you are talking about a video that you have in your computer, maybe because it's a video that you recorded as a teacher and you want the students to watch it because it's a lesson that you want to teach to them, instead of copying the video from YouTube, let's create a way for your videos to be online. And then we are going to our email, to regular Gmail, and then we go here to the top right part where we see the 9 dots, and we are going to the app called Photos. If we go there, we can upload videos, we can create folders, and we can store photos and videos in a nice way. So let's create a folder, and we are going to put a name on that folder. And the name for that folder could be, let's say, shapes. And we can add pictures from our computer. And here we have a video that we can upload. We can keep the original size, or we can have a high quality, but that would be for free unlimited storage that we don't have because we have a standard account. We have only 15 gigabytes. So the video is uploading. Now that the video is uploaded, we can click here on the video, and we are going to get the link to share it with our students. Here on the top right part, we are going to click on it, and then we are going to create a link for it. That way we can make our students see the video. So let's go back to ClassDojo, and here where it says activity instructions, we are going to put the instructions: watch the video, in the link below. and we can put step 1 and then step 2, record a video of yourself mentioning the shapes that you learn. And here the activity name could be the shapes. Okay, and the way we are going to assign it and see the way students see their assignment. Now let's see how the students can hand in the activity recording a video. As we can see, the students has now a new activity, and the name of the activity is the shapes. So we are going to click on it, and you see that the link to the video is available. So the students will have access to the video, and the students can watch it. After the student watch the video, let's imagine that the students watch it. Now we can answer the activity. We click here on the start, and the student can record a video. That's our student there, and then we are going to start recording. Okay, shapes are circle, diamond, square, and heart. And that's the way. If we don't like the way a video looks like, the students can go back, discard it, and retake it. Let's start over. Circle, diamond, square, and heart. And that's the way the students can watch the video again and then hand it in to the teacher, and he can write something about the video. It was difficult, it was nice, whatever they want to comment, and then they send it to the teacher. That way the student can turn in that kind of activity. And now it's pending. As we can see here, we have the 2 activities that we assign, and we have the report of each one of those activities. One is pending approval, is the video that the student has submitted, and the other ones that who didn't. So let's watch the activity that Charlie Brown handed in. We can play it, we can watch it, and then we can decide if the student is good or not, or return it as a draft. And the student has to redo it. Let's approve it and put a like and say good job. Or you can assign gradable points, let's say like 5/5. It's up to you as a teacher, and that way, or 4/5, and that way you send it to the student. Now, that way we receive from the students activities turned in or submitted in the form of a video. Let's see other kind of activities that we can assign to our students. Just remember that attaching videos is a good way for us as teachers to teach lessons. Why? Because when we remote teach, we need different ways to teach our students new concepts. And we can make short videos with our selfie cam in our cell phone, and that way we can upload it here to our Google Photos using our regular Gmail account from our cell phones, or maybe from our computers, and that way we can share the video with them and they receive the lesson. In case we want our students to do worksheets for us, we have 2 ways to do it. One is sharing with them a worksheet that we have in our computers, and making the students turn it in the form of a photo. Let's see how the student can do it. Let's imagine that we have a nice worksheet in our computer and we want to share it with the student. As you can see here in the activity, we have no way to attach the document. So what we are going to do is that we are going to, let me close some windows here. Okay, let's go to our Google Drive and we are going to upload the worksheet. So if we come here to our Google Drive, we go to create a new worksheet or a new activity. So we are going to attach the work and we are going to upload it. That way, when the worksheet is on, we open it or we right click and we share it. And when we share it, we can get the shareable link. Click on it, and then you see here on the settings that anyone with the link can view it. So they don't have access to edit it and to make any change on the document. Okay, so let's copy the link, and then we go to our ClassDojo. Let's close here and go to our ClassDojo. Okay, so let's say, for example, that the name of the activity here is short vowel, because that's the name of the worksheet. Okay, and we are going to make the students hand it in the form of a picture. Now that the activity is on, let's see how can the student finish the activity. Let's try to do this activity from the computer. If we go here to the student's view, we can see that the student has a new activity to do. So, as they say here, print or copy in your notebook the worksheet in the link below. Step 2, take picture when you finish doing the activity. So, according to this icon, the student has to turn in the activity in the form of a picture. So, let's start. So we are going to give to the camera access to take the picture. Let's imagine that the student already printed the activity, did it, and solved the activities. We are going to show a random worksheet that I've got here in my hand. So we are going to allow to the camera to have access. That way, I'm going to take a picture of the worksheet. In 3, 2, 1, and that's it. That way the students can hand in the activity. In case the picture is not so well, you can retake the picture. You can write on it, you can make drawings on it, you can change the color, you can add some captions, you can add some voice message, you can read the instructions again. The students can close and take a picture again. Let's take a new picture here. Okay, there are unsaved changes here. Okay, don't save. So we are going to take the picture again. Okay, let's take the picture in 3, 2, 1. Maybe my camera is not the best one, but they could do it that way, or they could do it using their cell phones or tablets. Let's hand in the activity. Here we are in the teacher's view, and we have that the student handed in their activity. This is the worksheet. Maybe it's not very clear, but according to the resolution of the camera, the teacher can approve it or return it as a draft, maybe with a comment, please take another picture. A better picture. And return it as a draft. That way the student will receive it in the form of a draft, and the student has to redo the activity. See, the student has here the activity as a draft. Let's edit it. and redo it. Let's retake the picture. Okay. And send it back to the teacher. Great. Now we're going to hand it in and the teacher can see the activity. Okay. Here we are. Okay, teacher, here we have one new activity from our student, so that way we can approve it if we like it. Now that we have the activity approved, one is pending approval, I like it, it's better, much better, and then we are going to grade it. We can, for example, delete the previous comment. I wouldn't recommend that you delete it. Why? Because that way we have the proof that we return the activity as a draft, and we made the students retake the picture. And now we can grade it. It's up to us, 7/10 or whatever we want the gradable points to be for that activity. And we approve it. And that's it. Now let's see another way that we can make our students make worksheets. And this way of doing activities in worksheets is based on something called app smashing. What we are going to do now is that we are going to join two apps. Until now we have used with ClassDojo, we have used Google Photos, Google Drive to upload work and make the students finish their assignment. Now we are going to use another app to assign interactive and online worksheets. Let's see how it works. We are going to use a website called App ClassDjo. I'm not going to talk about how to create and assign here, but we're going to see more or less how it works. And for the videos, I'm going to make a full video about these websites, okay? Let's use the demo activity that they have here so we can see. I already created a roster, a list of students, and we're going to use this roster that I created. It's a roster with a name, but no students. That way you are going to see how easy it is for students to log in and do the assignment without having any kind of username. So let's go to the assignments, and here we are going inside the assignment. This is the demo assignment that they have for students to learn how to use this app. We can select the subject that we are going to teach with this, the grades, and who has access. Only the students that has the access of to the assignment. So let's go here and assign it, and we are going to decide the roster that is going to receive the work. ClassDojo is the roster that I created. So we can here decide if the grades are going to be received by the students, if we can allow the students help each other, no. If we can hide the worksheet so the students don't do it anymore, they don't have access to do it anymore, or we lock it. That way, even though they see it, they cannot change anything. Now what we are going to do is that we're going to share the code of this assignment. Now let's click on this, and we are going to see that this assignment has this code here, or we can copy this link. We can use both, or the code if the students already know about the website, or we can copy the link. We can copy the link, and then we can go to our assignment and copy it here. Let's copy the link and give some instructions to the student here. Okay, so we are going to assign it, and the student is going to receive the link to the interactive worksheet. Let's see how the students has access to it. Here in the student's view, we have the new assignment. So we have the activity here. Right click, opening a new tab, and now we see that the student has the class code already, and the student has only to write their name, Charlie Brown, and the student has access to the worksheet. So the students can do activities here, very nice activities. Okay, write your name in green by adding a new text box. The student here can draw their favorite animal. Students here can use the microphone to record saying their personal information. They can drag and drop, see the objects in the worksheet. They can here writing inside the worksheet. It's very interactive, and teachers can also post in here self-corrected activities like multiple choice or something like that. So once the student finished, they can hand it in, or they can raise their hand, okay, to ask for help to other students, or ask for help to the teacher, or finish the activity and tell the teacher that they finished. So they can wait for the teacher to correct the activity. When the student finished, they go back to ClassDojo, and the second step of the instructions is to draw a heart or a star when you're done with the worksheet. So the student here can draw a heart, or maybe to draw a star. Yes? So the students can hand in the activity. Very good. And that way we know that the student finished in class kick. Back to the teacher's view, we can see that the student already handed in the activity, so that way we can go to our class kick and check the assignment and give the student approved for this activity. Just remember that ClassDojo is our class management system. Any activity that we do outside ClassDojo, we have to grade it here in ClassDojo. Why? Because it's the main app that they are going to see their grades and marks. Until now, we have seen 4 kinds of activities that we can assign to our students and the different ways they can submit it to us. Now, let's go here where it says class story, and it is like a wall. Like in any other social network, we have here a wall where all the people connected to the app has access to it. Here we have a text box to make our students and parents see what is happening in the classroom. Or we can make announcements. We can upload photos, we can upload files like Word or Excel or PowerPoints. We can record a video from our cam in the computer, or we can create an event. And this part here for me is really awesome, because that way we can create, for example, a way to remind parents that we have an exam. Let's say, for example, exam units 1, 2, 3, and we can tell the parents that the exam is going to be, for example, April the 3rd at 4 p.m. and it's going to finish the same day at 5 p.m. We can make a description or give instructions telling parents to study those units. We can change the color of the background. It could be blue, and we can change the objects in the theme of let's say, for example, that we are given flags. We can make reminders to parents. They are going to receive it in their email. That way, we can remind parents immediately. Right now, the moment we are creating the event, the parents are going to receive a notification 5 days before, 1 day before, and 1 hour before. So we are going to bother the parents, and this is an automatic system that we don't have to worry about, because it's going to send emails to parents to remind them that they have to make the students study for the exams. So we are going to create it, and we are going to see that it is on the stream or on the class story. Parents can add comments, and they can communicate to ask questions. Now let's take a look at the parents' email to see the way they receive notifications. As you can see here, they got emails for every activity that the students was assigned, and even when the work was returned to the student, the way that we approve the activities. But here in the main inbox, they don't have the notification about the events. In some cases, they go here to social, or they go here to promotions. So it is important that the parent check all the inboxes. So we can see here that the parent received the event. If we click here, the parent had the notification of the exam that is going to be on April the 3rd. Now the parent can view the event, and they have access to the event. Not only that the parents has access to the event, but access to the work of their children and the comments that the teacher left to their activities. Okay? Let's go back to the teacher's view. Okay, now let's go back to our classroom and check that all the tabs here, we have reviewed them, we have learned how to use each one of them. We learned every part of our ClassDojo. I hope you enjoyed this video and subscribe for more videos about e-tools that we can use for our classes. See you in the next videos.